Hi, I'm Julie Hersh, author of Struck by Living. I'm a blogger for Psychology Today and a mental health advocate. Believe it or not, in 2001, I attempted suicide 3 times. Now, how does that happen? How does someone like me, who has a great husband, children, all the things that it looks like someone needs for a happy life, how does someone like that ever get to the point of considering suicide? I've spent the last decade trying to unravel that question. In the wake of the Newtown tragedy, many of us have begun to realize that mental health is a public health issue. We realize with other diseases that proactive behavior is far better than reactive action. For example, if fewer people smoke, there's less lung disease. If people eat better and exercise, we have less heart disease. We haven't quite figured this out with mental illness, but I think the same idea is in play. If people recognize that with an extreme amount of stress and with lack of support systems, mental illness can be a reality for anyone. Some people like me have a genetic predisposition for mental illness, but no one is immune to mental illness. The good news is, if we educate people about the brain, most mental illness can be managed, if not averted altogether. Today, 38,000 people annually die in the United States from suicide. That's more people than die by homicide, more people that die in wars, and far more people that die from AIDS. And yet we remain silent about the things we know from research that people need to stay well. In the past 3 years since publishing Struck by Living, I've spoken to all kinds of groups, WPO, YPO, high schools, universities, medical schools. I've testified before the FDA, and I've even appeared on Dr. Oz. All these appearances have challenged me and broadened my perspective. I like to customize each of my talks, developing analogies that really stick with people and inspire them for mental health. And humor is a critical part of almost every talk I give. You can imagine a depressing talk about depression is just, well, depressing. I don't want to do that. My goal is to educate people, ignite their brains, and inspire them to a life of mental health. If this sounds interesting to you, please check out my website, www.struckbyliving.com, or call my publicist, Diane Pfeffer. I'd love to come and talk to your organization.